Right, how many times have you made a New Year's resolution and not even got to a quarter of the year and it's just fallen by the wayside? In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you keep your New Year's resolution and hopefully be able to have a better 2022 by implementing the steps, tips and tricks that I am going to tell you right now. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stay till the end so that you can get all the tips and tricks. Hi guys, it's Faith. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I wanted to set out a stall, or tips and tricks rather, on how you can have a better 2022. This is a time of year, as we all know, people are usually thinking of New Year's resolution, how they can be a better individual, and just how they can increase productivity as a whole. The best thing to do is to get ahead, and I just thought I'd make a video because I'm doing this for myself. So I thought I'd share my process of what I'm doing with y'all, and hopefully it will be able to give you a few ideas on how to make year 2022 a better year for you also. Let's get into the 5 tips that I'm going to share. Number 1. Please declutter. You do not need to be bringing things from 2021 and the past into the new year with you. These things can potentially weigh you down and have you feeling a bit off balance. So one thing that I've started doing recently is decluttering. I've been getting rid of things that no longer serves a purpose or is no longer beneficial to me as a person. So what does this decluttering look like? I've been implementing this process of decluttering physically, socially, mentally and digitally. So what can you do? I've been going through my phone, deleting old pictures that I no longer need, deleting old files off my laptop, things that I've had on there, let's say for when I was in secondary school. I've just cleared all those files. I don't need them. For some reason, I had in my mind that potentially I'll need some sort of information in the future, and it's best for me to hang on to it. You don't need it. You're better off without it, actually. So I've been doing that. I've been just making more space for myself to be able to make new content and to be able to learn new things. And also, I've not been given too many people access to me like I potentially was in the past. Currently, I'm just very selective and just stay into myself pretty much. I don't go out as much, to be honest. I mean, we're still in a pandemic. I pretty much just go to work, uni, and then I come home and I rest, make content, and that's pretty much it. I go out occasionally, but I do think if you have friends or colleagues or anyone in your life that no longer serves that purpose, they're no longer adding value or being beneficial to you in a way. I know that kind of sounds a bit harsh, but if they're not being beneficial to you or building you up, you don't need to be around that person. Quite often we're in friendships because, you know, it's the norm, we're comfortable, we got complacent, and you don't realize that some of these people do not have the best intentions for you. So for me, I've been keeping my circle small, and that's been, well, it's been good. I've not been having any problems. So maybe it's something that you can also implement, and hopefully you will see some benefit from doing that. I've also been applying this to my social media. So I've been unfollowing people that no longer align with my values. So basically accounts that no longer sit well with me. Sometimes you go on social media and you just see a bunch of negativity or you see a bunch of gossip. And yeah, sometimes people are like, yeah, I want to know what's happening with this celebrity. But those things are not always helpful to you. It doesn't build you up and it doesn't help make you a better person. So I've been reevaluating and just trying to get rid of things on that level. Also, there's some accounts on my social media at least that just don't engage with me. And I'm trying to grow my social media following. I'm trying to grow on YouTube. And for that, you kind of need followers. That's how you speak, you know. You speak with your numbers. In order to do that, you need to have an audience that engages with you. And like I said when I started this channel, I'm trying to build a community of engaged individuals that, you know, will be able to communicate with each other and to be able to have fun and share ideas. At the moment, my social media following is not engaged. I've got people that will follow me and be the first to look at my stories, but they'll never like my posts. They'll never comment. They'll never interact with stories. They'll never watch my videos. Or they might do those things, but they just don't give any feedback at all. So for me, it's like, you watch all my stuff, but you don't interact with it. So why are you following me? Like, some people, they will just be on there just to see what you're doing and then report back to other people, or see what you're doing and just wait for you to fail or wait for you to give up. And that is something that I've noticed quite a lot. So for me, I will be having a big social media clear out before the end of the year. So that's tip number 1, to declutter. Tip number 2 is to set smart targets. So what is a smart target? It's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and it's got a time limit on it. Don't just go making wishy-washy goals saying, oh, I would like to achieve this, without giving yourself any sort of process on how you are going to achieve it, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure, essentially. And you don't want that. You need to break your goals up into small bite-sized pieces so that you can also stay motivated to achieve those goals. So for me, like I hinted at just a few moments ago, I would like to build my social media following. I'd obviously like to grow on YouTube. I will be setting myself targets over this next coming week, and I'll be making a vision board on how I can achieve the things that I would like to achieve by the end of 2022. Now, I will be breaking those goals up in order to achieve the goal fully. Let's say by the end of 2022, I'd like to be monetized on YouTube. How will I be able to do that? Right. You'd obviously need to get 1,000 subscribers, and you need to get the 4,000 watch hours. Break that into half. You could say, in the next 6 months, I would like to be halfway there. So I'd have 500 subscribers, and then I'd have 2,000 watch hours. So then it makes it more measurable, but also you don't look at your goal as a mountain. You look at it as a staircase instead. I hope this is making sense and it doesn't sound like pure waffle. If it does sound like pure waffle, just pop a question in the comment box below and I will try my best to answer the questions that you may have. So yeah guys, make sure you make smart targets. It's just something that will help you to be able to track your progress and just see how you're progressing across the span of the year, rather than just saying it, speaking it into existence. Also, write everything down. When you write something down, you're more likely to follow up with it because you've written it down, which means that you've got that piece of paper in black and white to hold your own self accountable, rather than just saying, oh, at the beginning of the year, I had the thought to do this, which just kind of makes it seem like if I achieve it, I achieve it, and if I don't, I don't. For me, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a few years now, probably since the end of 2018. I've been thinking about it. And I also wanted to start a business, but I always get into this headspace at the beginning of New Year's. I just call it the New Year blues. I've been calling it that for like the past 6 years. Every New Year, from January to March, I just feel like I can't focus in a productive way as I would the other 9 months of the year. But this year, I'm determined to not let that happen, and I'm determined to have a strong plan so that I won't get into a funky headspace, let's say. I don't know if it's happened to any of y'all before, but for me, it's something that I've been struggling with, not just for a few years, but it's been going on for a lot of time. So this year, I want to get on top of that. So earlier, I mentioned that I will be making a vision board. I think it's important to visualize the lifestyle that you'd like to set for yourself and where you see yourself in the future. So quite often we sit down as a family and we make long-term and short-term goals. My dad just usually writes them down and he tries to hold us accountable. So he's like, well, where are you in terms of meeting that goal? I think that it's important to have people in your life that will help you achieve the goals that you're aiming for, because that way they can motivate you and they can check in with you to make sure that you are still focused. And if you potentially don't have the same ideas that you had previously, then they can help realign you to be able to still progress in some way, shape or form. So that's tip number 2. Make sure that you set smart targets. On to tip number 3, get a routine. So I used to have a very consistent routine at the beginning of the year, and then at around September something happened and then my routine kind of fell by the wayside. I'm going to go into detail and give you all some context on what happened. In the middle of 2020, we moved houses to another area, and then I suddenly became a lot more free. I had lots of time on my hands. Having moved out of London, where obviously it's very busy, I was working 13-hour shifts and then traveling to and from work 2 hours and a bit, so like 2.5 hours one way. So really and truly, I only had about 6 hours left of the day for myself, which constantly I was just sleeping basically on days that I had work. On my days off, I had more free time, but that was just literally to recuperate from all my shifts. But when we moved to the other house, I had lots of time on my hands and I just was like, what can I do to improve myself? So I joined the gym. When I joined the gym, I was very disciplined and I was very consistent. I was going constantly. Not like in an unhealthy way, but I was just going to the gym very consistently because I was like, this is something that I can do to improve myself. I knew I wanted to get fitter and I just wanted to do something that wasn't going to be a waste of my time. So I thought I'd go to the gym. It would be a way for me to meet new people because I was in a new area. And yeah, I went to the gym. I used to go after night shifts and on my days off. I wouldn't go after a long day because that's just too knackering. So I'd go to the gym very consistently and I enjoyed it. And it was something that became a part of my daily routine. I would probably go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. And yeah, I felt better in myself. And I was like, I knew I'd wake up, go to the gym, come back home, do all of these things. And then if I was on a night shift, I'd go to work, straight from work, go to the gym, have a shower at the gym, come home, sleep. And I just knew that was my routine. And to be honest, I was thriving in those months. Everything was great. I just loved it because I just knew what I was doing every day. And I didn't feel like I was procrastinating as much or just lazing around doing nothing. But then the gym closed at the end of August, and I haven't found a gym that just suits my needs as much as that gym did. So I've not been going to the gym recently, guys. I've been slacking. Hopefully in 2022, it will be something that I'll pick up again. But obviously now I am super busy. I am balancing uni, work, I'll be having placements. And then obviously I've got a small business and then I've got YouTube. So I'm not sure where I'll fit everything in. But for me, now more than ever, a routine is going to be absolutely necessary for me to function properly and not get burnt out. People that have routines tend to be able to be more progressive in their goals because they wake up and they know what they are going to be doing. Usually, if you keep doing something every day for a month, it will stick with you and you will be able to see progress over time after carrying on consistently for a month, because it takes roughly that amount of time to build a routine. If you break it and you're not consistent, then I'm sorry, hate to break it to you, but you kind of lost your chance. You'll have to start again. So building a routine just basically implements structure into your day. It kind of gives you an idea on what you need to do, and it just helps you allocate time for specific things so things don't get missed. And I can't fault it really. For me, it's been something good, and hopefully for you, it will be something better. The next point, number 4, is to make time for yourself. I am very guilty of this because I don't usually make time for myself. I'll make time for myself to sit down and just be like, oh, I'm sitting down now. I've been busy all day. But I don't really think I make time for myself to have fun. I think so many times this year, I've said to myself, oh, Faith, you can book yourself a spa day, or, you can go here with mum. Have I done it? No. Partially because of the pandemic, but also because I've just said I've got something else to do, or I've picked up an extra shift and I've gone to work. But honestly, guys, it's so easy to get burnt out. And I think when you have the opportunity to take time for yourself and actually do something really nice, do make sure you get to do it, because it is very important for you to just take a breather. Otherwise, you will get burnt out. It is very, very easy to get burnt out. I don't know what sector you're all working, but for me, I work in a hospital. It has been full steam ahead for the last 2 years, and it does get very tiring. It gets very exhausting just doing the same thing, waking up. It takes its toll on your body, it takes its toll on you mentally, and you just don't want to be burnt out. It's not a nice place to be because you will be in such a bad headspace and you will feel physically ill. It's as simple as that. And I know because I felt that way in the past, and I really am trying to not get to that place in 2022. Do something that you enjoy. So maybe implement some sort of self-care Sundays. I know that's something that's quite trendy and popular at the moment. And spend time with people that you love, friends and family, people that build you up and have a positive influence on you. There's no point going for self-care or taking a break but surrounding yourself with negative people, because that also wouldn't help. And also, I'm gonna just pop this in here because it is something that is actually quite prominent at the moment. If you are that friend that always takes on stuff and people always offload onto you, if you are struggling, make sure you go and you do speak to someone that someone that you trust and someone that you get on with, so that they can support you and comfort you and help you to not be feeling as low anymore. Make sure you just surround your people that will boost your self-esteem and people that overall have a positive impact on you. So that's tip number 4, make time for yourself. So tip number 5 is learning how to manage money better. So one thing that I would say, if this is the only thing that you remember from this part of the video, from this tip, is to live below your means. Do not go and start splurging on things that you do not need. So for me, I like to treat myself from time to time. However, so we're doing some online shopping, I'll put my things in the basket, and if I'm unsure about the purchase, I'll leave it in there for a month, and then I'll come back. If I don't think I want it anymore, I won't buy it. If the urge to purchase this item is still strong, then I'll get it. Usually the urge goes very quickly because I'm someone that usually buys things and then I'm like, why did I spend money on this? I don't want it anymore. Like, I've got too many clothes to not be even going out, because like I said earlier, I don't really go anywhere. Guys, I'm not just a boring Nelly. I do go out, but just not very, very often because I'm working or I'm studying. So yeah, just live below your means. Only buy the things that's absolutely necessary, and trust me, your bank account will thank you for it in the future, simply because you'll be able to have more disposable income over time because you wouldn't have been spending it on things that you realize you don't need. You do not need to be keeping up with your friends. Another thing that you need to do is make sure that you save. Make sure that every month you're putting away something. Well, every paycheck, let's just say, make sure every paycheck you're putting something away as part of savings. Because number one, you never know when there'll be an emergency, and it's always good to be able to save for the future and have backup money. Save for a rainy day, save in case there's ever an emergency. Trust me, whenever you're starting to make money, your car always starts making expensive noises. I feel like I know this because this has been happening to me. It's like you've just had the MOT and you're like, yeah, I've got a little bit more extra disposable income, or I've topped up my savings. And then all of a sudden, a month later, your car starts making a squeaky noise every time you go over a bump, or it starts making just random noises, and you're like, I just serviced you. What more do you want from me? So always save, because you just never know what can happen. You never know when there's an emergency, or you might need to fly somewhere. I know some people don't always have family in the same country. You might need to fly somewhere. You might need to fix your car. Something might happen to your child. It's just always good to be disciplined and have a savings as a just in case. It's also a very considerate thing to have a savings, so think of that too. The next point is make sure you invest, whether it be investing in cryptocurrency of some sort or putting your money in like a fund or something. Guys, I'm not going to even go into this because this is not my forte, but you can learn and you can watch YouTube videos, and there's people out there that this is their area of expertise, so you can by all means check those people out and get some more information if it's something that you're interested in. I do know crypto is taking off at this moment. I'm trying to learn more about it. I do think that it will have some benefit in the future, so yeah, by all means check that out. The final tip that I believe is on this list is spend time investing in yourself. So whether it be learning a new skill or just spending time reading more, make sure you do something that is going to help improve the value that you're able to give. Make yourself an expert in an area, and trust me, your bank balance will probably thank you for it in the future. Because there's a lot of people that didn't know how to do something, let's say 5 years ago, and they decided, I would like to try this thing because either I've seen other people doing it and it worked for them, or this is just something that I'm passionate about and I'd like to try it. And now those people are now using that skill that they spent time learning to pay their bills, and they're not doing the standard 9 to 5 job anymore. So yeah guys, these are some tips and tricks that y'all can consider adding to your daily lives, and hopefully you'll see some progress in the future for the year of 2022. One more thing that I'm going to say that I would be doing, I would like to start shopping more with smaller businesses and just shopping local in general. So over the next 12 months, I had this idea. This is something that I will be implementing on my channel. I think I'll start a series. So I'll start buying more things from small businesses. I've been doing it already, but I think it's just something that I'm going to constantly make an effort to do, because these people are quite talented and you find the greatest things in small businesses, to be honest. So I'll be buying stuff, and each month I'll pick something to review on my YouTube channel. I don't know, I'll probably just start a series and just call it something. I don't know what I'll call it yet, but I will be reviewing things on here, and yeah, hopefully you guys will be able to see the things that I review, and it will encourage you to shop from those small businesses too. So guys, I hope with the rest of the year y'all are going to be implementing some of these things in order to plan for the new year ahead. Like I said, I'll be making my vision board and I'll just be gearing up for the new year. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Also, add me on my social media, which will be on one of these sides, I don't know yet. So like I said, I will be having a clear out of my social media. But if this is something that you'll enjoy, just make sure that you give me a follow. And yeah, hopefully guys, I'm hoping that the new year will bring a lot of positivity and just lots of blessings for you guys. So I hope you'll have a great day and continue enjoying the festivities with your family. Bye guys.